Hey everybody, here's a quick tutorial on how to tie the Hale Bopp fly. I was introduced to this pattern in some desert lakes here in Washington, and it has proven to be awesome. So first thing, we're going to tie with some red thread, do some wraps. Now that we got that on there, we will snip the excess thread. And I have pre-selected a piece of olive green Marabou, and we're going to want to have that about a shank and a half of Marabou here. So that looks pretty good. We'll capture that. Do a couple really looser wraps and then really get a little bit tighter. And I think one thing that a lot of new tires do is they will just decide to cut right there. Well, we're gonna bring it down towards the eye, and that way we have a very even wrap with the red tinsel, which we'll be doing next. So you can see we're about right there. Cut that off at an angle. Throw that away. And we are going to try to really wrap this pretty tight actually, because one of the things that we're going to want to do is we're going to be wrapping a red tinsel around. And it's important to, you want to have a nice smooth base for that. This is a Norvise rotary vise, and I will be doing a little bit of the rotary action, but I'm not one of the guys that is going to rotate the vise just for your thread wraps. So, first thing, actually, before we get to the tinsel, I'm going to create myself a little bit of a dubbing loop, because we have ourselves some Arizona Mega Simi Seal, try every color in olive that we will be using for this dubbing loop. So there we go. We have our dubbing loop. I've found that if I can just kind of wrap it around my vise a little bit just to stay in one spot, maybe put it in a material clip here. And now we'll take our red tinsel and we will capture it here with the thread. Get that on there. We'll wrap it towards the back. And so the inspiration actually for this video was I have a buddy who's thinking about purchasing a vise and is choosing between a couple. And for me, I just absolutely love this Norvise. And so here's what I'm going to do. I captured this in. You could do just, half hitch with your fingers. I'm going to be a little bit lazy with that because I'm not the greatest at that. We put that in there. We're going to put it over here. But I think one of the cool things, especially about this Norvise, and any rotary vise for that matter, is that you can really get good wraps with whatever you're doing. See, I'm just rotating this and I'm getting nice, tight, even wraps as I'm going down the hook shank. All right, so now we're about there. I'm gonna lock it in and I'm gonna tie this in. Do a couple wraps to secure, and we'll clip that out and get it out of the way. All right, now we're looking pretty sweet. So now we have our dubbing loop. Gonna grab our Simi Seal and our Loon dubbing loop spinner there. We're going to pull out a little bit. The key to this fly is to not actually overdress it. I think that's another thing that people will often do. And I've actually been out on the lake and just started pulling off this stuff because the fish really key in on the red thread and the red tinsel. So what I'm doing here, you probably can't see. I'm just building a little bit of some dubbing here that I'm going to put in my loop, and then we're going to get it in. All right, I think I'm probably pretty good. Maybe just a hair more. All right, yeah, we're awesome. We're golden, Jerry. And we're going to get that in there. We're going to put it in here. Oops, a little bit fell out, but that's all right. We can just add it back. And we'll get it kind of even in there. That looks really good. Bring it up towards the top. And then we'll just do a little bit of a spin. And as we notice the dubbing not being quite centered, we will continue to add that, or straighten it rather. And get this really nice and tight. We may want to use a dubbing brush to pull a little bit more out. It just depends how it will look. We're just getting this in here. And as you'll see, we're not going to want to get really super tight wraps with the dubbing. I think we're doing pretty good here. And this is another reason why I really enjoy having a rotary vise, is just for this dubbing. It just makes it all the difference in the world. I think this is good. I got a little heavy towards the bottom here, but we'll take care of that. So then I just unclick it, and then I can bring this forward. Yeah, we're a little heavy, but I think we'll be okay. We'll take the dubbing brush and we'll brush it out. All right, look at that. Nice even wraps. And we'll take our thread and wrap it around on the head. We'll capture this dubbing loop, snip it off. As you can see, we did actually pull a little bit more than we needed. And these, if you haven't experienced these are great Norvise bobbins. I mean, they go where you put them. So we're gonna just wrap the head here. Again, it's a nice red thread. And then we'll take our whip finish and we'll secure it with a few wraps. And we'll snip it with our scissors. And I'm currently using this Loon UV Clear Fly Finish Flow. We'll put a little bit on the head there. And then we'll zap it with our UV light. And it's looking pretty good. And just for one final thing, I do have a Loon dubbing brush here. We're gonna want to brush that out. That's what's really gonna give our fly the movement there in the water. Yeah, this is looking really good. As you can see, we're starting to we're gonna get some, it's coming out. We're still seeing a little bit of the red tinsel in there. I think this one's gonna do awesome. And this is on a Tiemco size 8 hook. I believe it's the 200 model. And look at that. There we go. Ready to catch some fish.